Okay, it's early in the morning at 6:30 on a Sunday, the last Sunday in Tansen, and I'm trying something new, which is to actually take my camera out. We've been raining for about 2 weeks now, and we have a short lull, so I can do this with no umbrella. And basically the first part is the walk past from my apartment to the hospital. This is my door right here, and I'm going through the neighborhood just to show you a little bit what it's like. The residences are places where the medical students and various hospital staff live. I'm in the guest house annex. My laundry is hanging up inside my apartment because it hasn't dried in 5 days and all that kind of thing, so maybe it's going to be dry enough after today, but I doubt it very much. As you can see, we've got a lot of stonework here, and evidently someone has put labor into it. You need these because otherwise it would be mud a foot deep, like the roads in town. It's actually very pleasant in the morning. The national tree of Nepal is a rhododendron, and I always remark on the fine specimen that we have right here. This apartment right here on our right is more of a multi-story thing for like medical staff and their family. It's starting to drizzle a little bit, but we'll be under the cover of the hospital awnings in just a second. This path here leads to more of the annex buildings. And here's the hospital. This gate is never locked, but comes into the hospital proper. You can see the overhanging eaves of the outside edge of the hospital. There's different construction here based on when additions were made. This is where the laundry's done on that side. You see, if you move too fast with these, people get dizzy. To my left is the orthopedic floor. You can actually look in the windows if you feel like it, but I don't know if that's something I really want to do. That's a person bringing breakfast to their relative. We go up the ramp, trying to decide if I should go left or right, but up the ramp to the right is surgical. Might as well go to surgical first. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and this is the area in between. A lot of times in the day this is a place for people to kind of hang out or dry their clothes. You can see the brickwork of different additions that have been made over the course of time. Namaste. That's a security guard. Surgical ward is divided into male and female surgical. We'll just pop in there. Most of the drapes are done. I'll allow people to have their drapes. Namaste. I'll allow people to have their drapes. Female surgical seems empty today. Coming up to where the OR is. Storeroom for IV supplies. Seems very quiet at the nurse's station right at this time. I'm actually filming a movie. Would you like to say hello to the people in the U.S.?
Oh, sorry.
What would you like to say if you knew you were going to be on television in the United States? What would you say to people? You're not sure?
I have to think.
Okay, that's cool. I'm filming a movie with this. I finally figured out how to do it. I'll come back and we can ask you later. That's the security guard there. Hello, namaste. Just want to see what's going on. Back out towards looking in there. Just pop our head in where the surgical intensive area is without bothering anybody. If we turn around and kind of go back the way we came, might as well take you on a tour past the emergency room. Namaste. Take you on a tour past the emergency room. In the morning, this is where people congregate to pay their bill, and that's the main entrance. We'll go back to the main entrance in a little bit. Stairway to the medical ward. Then we have to the lab room. They have a bigger lab. The actual lab is upstairs in a different building, but this is where they do blood draws. Outpatient cash office. There's usually a long line here during the daytime. This is 6:30 in the morning, so stuff hasn't even started, and the clinics are there, but this will be lined with benches. We have sort of the board, that's kind of the control board that tells who's on and how many patients there are. Something interesting about notice to the doctors as to what's in the pharmacy and what isn't. Coming down here, we see the emergency room, which is actually quite small for some place that might have thousands of admissions a year. The security guard here doesn't let just anybody in. There's Dr. Toole, and that's the emergency room right there. I'm actually making a movie. What would you like to say to the people in the U.S. about Tansen? Anything in particular?
If they are interested, they can come.
Okay, that's cool. Anyway, hello. How are you doing? I'm going to just, I'll show you this later if you're interested in seeing it. It's kind of the tour. One of the housekeeping staff has arrived. Might as well go outside. Namaste. Might as well go outside and see who's there. This is the beginning part of the neighborhood. Very typical vehicle here. Very typical crowd. Because it's been raining, there's actually much fewer people at the tap than there normally are at this hour of the morning. People brushing their teeth. General restaurants getting going. Most of the food prep for adults at the hospital is done in this neighborhood, and you can kind of get an idea of what happens in a typical Nepali urban neighborhood here. When the hospital was first started, none of this was here. This is Middle Street, and this is like the favorite way to get from here to the bazaar. And it's not paved, we're right where the paved road. The only paved section is the one right in front of the hospital. People are still gathering their water for the morning and kind of getting it together. I love these pashmina shawls that they wear. Namaste. And it's starting to drizzle more, so I'll probably turn around in 1 second. But to give you an idea, sweeping over this way, you can get a view of the little square that's the original hospital building from way back along. Let's turn around and kind of go in a little different way to see what's happening here. If people are probably wondering what the heck's going on. I think the lower gate is locked, so we really can't view the ER construction project from this location. But there's another way to get up to the road. Maybe we'll try that. This is typical activity for this time of morning. People are having breakfast, kind of getting it together, washing their taps. People bringing wood everywhere. This street here is another typical area. This part's paved because during the height of it, you can see a small stream running down here, but during the height of the monsoon, this has a torrent. To my right is a small hotel, and this gives you an idea of what people sleep on in the morning. Going up the hill, the signs say this or that hotel on them, and kind of the neighborhood. Another place to store firewood is all the roofs. Tells you about the deforestation project in rural Nepal, I guess, but Let me turn around and see what's going on here. Chickens in the road. You can get a view of the roofs of the hospital building from here. Is Coca-Cola really the real thing? But very picturesque, I guess, as you can imagine. And typical plumbing. Oh, this is where they do their dishes. I think I've said at one point, this is the Tuscany of Nepal. I mean, how much more picturesque do you possibly want it to be? What I'll do is head back to the hospital entrance and then probably end this segment with kind of the idea. The emergency room's kind of filling up now, and then we'll see what's happening. Namaste. It's probably a hospital employee. Let's go in the other entrance door that's already open. They're getting cranked up and ready for business now. I'm going to end this segment in one section. People coming back from Dalbath, usually bringing their relatives' tray back. But I'm going to end this section of this